Kike Bacho, you're going
105, paragraph 105.
Okay, so 105 says that, does the court finds as a fact that the plaintiff could not prove her marriage, which she alleged was contracted under German law?
Right, pause. When we say, court no finding as a fact. Fact you. Say, Akosua Serwah ntiyam prove na warrior no under the German law. So there was no marriage between that Lumba and Akosua Serwah in Germany. Can't you also?
The mammy Akosua Serwah and certificate a fake, and fake, say you're organic, or say you're organic, say you're authentic or inauthentic, no. Time will tell. Kincaid, another one, their baby boom. So already from day one, what can my mini certificate be? Or see, and now look, even before the High Court verdict in Bayern, no most what digging my mino.
So if there was no matrimonial homestead, there was an abandonment, intention of the dissolution of the marriage is there. 15 years staying with Ɔdɔ Broni. Ɔdɔ Broni is a wife. Akosua Serwah and DL under the German law, there was no marriage.
Now will be can say they did not take any legal action against my because of Nembano. Yes, Charlene, ne Kevin, Ninian. Omni Ɔdɔ Broni fine, Omni Tupac fine, Omni Lumba fine. So if you take any action against my Akosua Serwah indirectly, it will affect them. But we did here for 7 Ghana TV. And now here.
They didn't cohabitate. No matrimonial home. Then we go to the number 10. Then we are talking about what the habitual residence. Obetana Ghana for 15 years. The habitual residence Ghana na court and say yes. Then number 11, whether the marriage between Akosua Serwah and Lumba had broken down under the German law. The answer is yes.
But you have video about more than I had, man. You need me to share my what. Now before I share, but you subscribe, man. What? Subscribe now, notification bell, then click it, mommy. What subscribe you? Because I don't maybe but no click here, so the account, mommy. Now news in the baby nam cancel ba. Social media platforms and to be me or be when me bonnet 7 Ghana TV dinner I'm used. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X, 7 Ghana TV dinner I'm used. And 7 Ghana TV. Dimpacho bombardier na subscribe man what. Na me to aso no ayensem pio. Ayensem bebre. Na uni bibi. Kinke or no legal background o. Either he's a lawyer or law student or something. No nim German and Maranzo from crank to crank. What's my Akosua Serwah need certificate? Only baby na certificate no earlier no the back court to na questions wo. But judge ni bu ni go so. Kinke say certificate no I buy no. Any power of attending the ni na no na papa. Na judge no pass from 20. And let me chip in this. Where me ankasa madwin. Judge no oguni mem e de mama me Akosua Serwah. When you take your time to read the bit, also judge Nankasan or pass from you Justice Dorenda Smith Atta. Or no or PhD. Alternative dispute resolution. Or you sang of pemanso. No. Sa ADR for pemanso, pass from just yentenas near cancer, nasum jumba. So Mobakaya, a case ni court first. Mamne Kasa Munko. Omomu tu is about the Monko Fiena Monkoka. Na Lumba is a legend who doesn't deserve this legal tassel. 2 weeks omukọ na omukọ manhia omukọ anvie yekobo yeko kantam kase ni de back and forth na chese ade na mfa wi no ma wi ata se court ha no mbeko na ebi bisa se ma me Akosua pempoma wa hefa asa na nsi ete ne nka che wa yedi mbisa. Anyways, back to the issue. Iti back and forth na judge okay se mo beka mo se me transem so na se mo pese mra na yedi edwuma no problem. The judge no mpe kuka na emotions so high to cause what them rather friend chimo here adwuma e be kwoti ama me Akosua Serwah esan say kinke say ni certificate or the buy ni kwampo no signatures are also kwampo na e different power of attorney 6 minutes signature just said it didn't tally am a court no Ɔdɔ Broni lawyers na need to pack lawyers no e raise objection said no certificate no signatures are also nyepe the signatures on these certificates they don't tally. But Judge Smith during that one gentle, do you know why? Or say, Nanka Sisenka to pack lawyers near Ɔdɔ Broni lawyers, or pet signature expert. Nanko betcha, because they do baby no. A lawyer Kusikofa teacher safo kantanka ma ne ba court e be church nsem. Fortunately ono nso ne sem obe church because it even went in the favor of the Broni. Say asante na say akama mu no impo so oni oba atena na nkwa en ho ade na ne wo na wo kwan bo tumi di kuna. Because the contention was they claim me as the only surviving spouse to do the kuna. What I say, and if that thing had happened, Mami will have access to all Lumba properties. Na nina Angusiaga. Na kinke ka say judge no call the Mami no watched. But because Ɔdɔ Broni lawyers need to pack lawyers, I'm for signature expert. I'm back court I'm be verify signature and a doctor and I say differences with me. Mami na anje objection na to mo bugu ma or the ruling by say. Omu nyina yere no omko yekuna mpacho so wo hwe video a share ma what social media platforms no baby a me obi TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X baby a me obi mpacho share ma what na subscribe to my channel eni dem ni ahobrasi mana Lumba nsam ne de ano dwoa na epeja it's say teenage wives they are making money out of it. Yeah, drag issue na nkofo to gift mo any da na je kwada so e fi de abna papa bi ni kwini ma de foforo de abebom se guy bi o Lumba DLFM e kufiti ne maame ne papa ni Lumba no ni Lumba kan say ni teacher mama champion e wo sa abrante no I mean how if you am kan no de 99.9 allegedly look if you accuse somebody wrongly that alleged it doesn't cover you. But Timika wives no confusion allegedly now will be who film oh sisters I say kunema me pewasem you know it me a court or say na me no bonkum bloggers na ni no bonkum na me kan obi me ka so kan my crash on you before so why this back and forth ode nya butre any adaje na hwe video ni bi mame na hu de ekọ say to pack sue mama Akosua say we sue ni e be ko sen Ebeko saying, more than anybody, I'm sure by now they have filed their defense. Aye. Now, in some we need a hate for the Sabi Ghana TV now in purchase social media platforms. Like I said earlier on, purchase subscribe me what. Or subscribe me many bejipa.
Yes, Kike Bacho, you're going
105, paragraph 105.
Okay, so 105 says that does the court finds as a fact that the plaintiff could not prove her marriage, which she alleged was contracted under German law.
Right, pause. When we say court no finding as a fact you say Akosua Serwah ntiyam prove na warrior no under the German law. So there was no marriage between the Lumba and Akosua Serwah in Germany. Can't you also?
Does the wow.
Okay.
Does the court finds it a fact that the plaintiff could not prove her marriage with which she alleged was contracted under German law, since proving a foreign law is a matter of fact.
It's a matter of fact. And yes, me the power of attorney komo obi ni ade na obi nko gina mu ma me na wo aware a obi na bekwa your power of attorney. Akosua Serwah fi oti wonu mo fi se o aware o genuine marriage nka mu fi se nka power of attorney na nka odi be mo obi. Na oka na ye fake ada na ya anche no. Na ono so pese ye che na ada na wan court. And obi say o msa question there they can't answer. So pese nka ye nche no a se nka obekọ court. Nti wan court na okofa Paul attorney say ye kochi obi a hwa na ye nche no. Nti kona ko prove wa ware no krampo no wan ko prove na se wote se ya chi atoni no dia ho na obeba rahe ko prove wa ware ne keke no wan timi an ko prove o nti se ya chi atoni no mom dia ho na wo beba se ene munja atoni na mo ncheme rahe does it make sense? Does it?
Hey, lavish. All right, hey, or say she could not satisfy the presumption that she contracted that marriage by providing an authentic
Miensa ana court.
Hey, why
authentic document, identified document, and a certified document. Court no can no man Rahel.
Oh, see, she could not satisfy the presumption that she contracted that marriage by providing an
authentic, number one, identified, number two,
certified copy of the marriage certificate.
The certified copy is about the certification and then the authentication.
Yeah.
Identified document a document court also court who say a marriage certificate. It means say document or the bar court was not identified. What it means is say document Akosua Serwah the court it is unknown. It is unknown. A document obia nima de cro. Nobody know what it is. And then the serious one, the authentic document.
And let me type on Google and see if a thing is not authentic, then what is it then?
That is what I posted on my page. And right,
hey, type there. Let me type mine, please.
They don't read, so they don't understand anything. Even so, who read it, they don't want to accept it. Why? Because they are not willing to assimilate. Such people, no, me, I see them as what? As people who don't want to process their brains. Because on the time
me type it say, is something me type it on Google. If something me type it on Google say, if something is not authentic, then it is so that Google will give me other words of it. And the first word that Google gave me was fake, not real or made to deceive.
Yeah.
It gave counterfeit, an illegal copy of a real product.
Yeah.
It gave me bogus, not genuine or true.
Yeah.
It gave me imitation, a copy that looks like the real thing. It gives me funny, not sincere or not real. That is what Google says.
So many words: counterfeit, funny, bogus, imitation, spurious, artificial, forged, simulated, inauthentic, deception, deceptive, synthetic.
We'll meet Google.
Imposter,
we'll meet Google in court.
Fraud.
Why not see Google? Meet me in court.
Copy, sham, falsify, purported. All of these things are the same thing. So
another almighty one, fake.
And fake.
Yeah, at that point, I'm taking Google to court.
Yeah, so they have to take Google to court. So if a judge has decided to use one of these words, Mom will say, the judge one could use the word fake in it, say, oh, can't I will say, oh, can't fake, and you can say, can't fake, because judge can't fake. I don't want to see class one, then muda. Say you was synonym, and I was antonym. One class one, then muda.
All right, Kike. I went through customary divorce proceedings with the plaintiff, and that's the letter alone indicating a return of the head drink to the deceased cannot be relied on, concluded as such.
Say as my kind and I be what say because of say and sa yentimi confirm near the and no one a mass question when no. Apart from this no, all the others well yes. And see so na yanko the next one or say or person who said the two of them they shared a matrimonial home. Ye na monarchy kan or can say or mami omutena dan ba kumu hwan na monarchy kan if the two of them were cohabitated and there was what or they share matrimonial bed 153 paragraph 153.
All right, 153 says this is clear from the record that the plaintiff and the deceased did not share matrimonial home when the deceased relocated to Ghana, but rather.
First, you see, say court not confirm say they didn't share any this question number 9 no person who say the two of them no omo cohabitate and I say they shared what a matrimonial household the answer is what? No, they didn't. So if there was no matrimonial home shared, there was an abandonment. Intention of the dissolution of the marriage is there. 15 years staying with Ɔdɔ Broni. Ɔdɔ Broni is a wife. Akosua Serwah and DL under the German law, there was no marriage. They didn't cohabitate. No matrimonial home. Then we go to the number 10. Then we are talking about what the habitual residence. Obetana Ghana for 15 years. The habitual residence Ghana na court and say yes. Then number 11, whether the marriage between Akosua Serwah and Lumba had broken down under the German law. The answer is yes. It has broken down under the German law. I'm going to read the law to you. And any other odd issues. So these are the 12 issues court in the so everything is yes, apart from our arena and san kwan a home kwan no. Into everything Bibia went in the favor of Ɔdɔ Broni. Na mo tete hɔ na mo kan se mu. Mo kan judgment am so mo kan. Na mo kontokwa mo yededa diska edi mo akoye emu fufuo nyina sela mo te akoyisu na jimi nkwa na mo jimi.
Kinkel mo question kakra.
Mpacho wetin me be.
O se awole da nsa ada o ma hu nsa na se de.
So Oma nya adanse obi a medi adanse se one na je nsa no. That is what the judge is saying.
Oh, but okay.
Nti eho na nipa na obedi adanse no ono so wa
amba nso ko ba dia kekeke o ma aw na yesen ka wole bia di bia na kedi abom gara we na kekwe baby. Comfort for pa mami. Okay, we dey fancy here. Okay, Twaso.
All right. Kike Yeko, which one? Yeah.
89, paragraph 89.
Right.
But before then, Rahel, go and read paragraph 74. Assembly or Honoma. No, on country obia. Ufri 74 now 89.
All right. So 74 says the law also allows a court not to restrict itself to the resolution of all the issues set down in the application for direction.
Inti Rahel, sa 12 issues we no say o determine we are emranche chire judge ne kenten say 12 no nko na onyina so emfa ye determination say bibi wo hono na say efri rate ni mu baaya ana say efri mu pleadings ni mu baaya obetimi agina so eho na me pese me claim obi aso say although say almost 12 but apart from that no me can wait because of omo appeal fun bi na o makono and similar woman has been addressing this judgment too, but they don't want to read. They don't. That's why I'm saying this. Say, and yet 12 no kwa. The judge says, after that, no bibi PMO mu pleadings no more. Obetimi ayi agina so. Nti before so be kan 87, kan 85, right?
All right, 75 says that
80,
I must
85,
take
85.
All right. 85 says that does the plaintiff must prove that she and the late Dad Lumba contracted a civil marriage under the German law through an expert witness, such as a qualified legal practitioner or an academician. Yes, about the civil marriage under the German law means and the standard of proof is upon the balance of probability.
You see, and plaintiff no Akosua Serwah I was so prove say on the Lumba no in the German law no omo contract any marriage ana 87.
All right, 87. In this case, the plaintiff did not satisfy the requirement of the rule in law in issue.
What constitutes
marriage under the civil law of German law was not proven by the plaintiff.
When we say answer the question, no. Mami try when a rate in say, or need that Lumba under the civil law in the German law. Court in the say, what constitute? Yeah.
In this case, the plaintiff did not satisfy the requirement of the rule insofar as proof of foreign law is concerned by calling an expert witness to give evidence on the foreign law in issue. What constitutes marriage under the civil law of German law was not proven by the plaintiff.
What constitutes marriage? What constitutes marriage under the civil law of the German law was not proven by Akosua Serwah.
In that case, the court is to presume that the German law is the same
as the Ghana law. And you didn't prove your marriage under the German law. So there was no marriage.
I think Anka almost the expert witness I think he said it would have helped.
Now expert witness na ko fa na wo hefa. Unim say we certificate na wo de akono e fake. Obetimi the expert witness na ko. Untimi fa na nko. That is the reason. Right. That is the reason. Until paragraph 88.
I won't say I'll come when we come to the video. I would say something about what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. 88.
All right. 88 says that the tendering of the marriage certificate was objected to by the learned counsel for the defendants. This objection had been raised during the hearing of the application of the interlocutory injunction on the 28th of October 2025.
Until we no the according appeal say almost a year the call no judge na wan reject it. Meanwhile was state will has say omo objective kusina obeka na nu asem audio na obebo no kusina obeka na nu asem say kopie mu e wo court dem ho no mu say certificate no judge ne kan say an onim ne wo makoye na wo makoye ye no ma bi e no mo de be court na ni so say e marriage certificate. This is what said it and confirmed that.
All right. The court rejected the document and advised counsel for the plaintiff to ensure that they complied with the requirements under the Evidence Act. It is therefore a surprise that the plaintiff did not comply with the requirement nearly a month later.
Yeah. Now,
this paragraph is very, very necessary. This paragraph is very, very necessary.
Now, right. Yes, so hard you cry 89. No? Paragraph 89. No? Appeal no the main points of the appeal, no. One of them, this 89. Right,
all right. So the 89 says that Section 6 of the Evidence Act says that in any action, an objection to the admissibility of evidence by a party affected, therefore, shall be made at the time the evidence is offered.
Indeed, almost main a say judge, rejected a marriage certificate in the judge, I accept or marriage certificate. No, I don't know why rejecting outright. Yeah, what kind of say?
Section 6 of the Evidence Act says that in any action, any objection to the admissibility of evidence by a party affected thereby shall be made at the time the evidence is offered.
Jump on that kind say it must be
and
stated
then it gives a CIE and couple
court now
all right, it must be stated that the court is the court is duty bound to consider and evaluate any document it is indeed inadmissible and to reject same if the court finds it as such.
You see, and then complain and say what or say I didn't no say one year to more or bet me if I don't know inadmissible or bet me that's what you that's all show more all any judgment no right and no be decided.
But seriously, Judge Dorin, I'm shocked that
this is a detailed judgment. Oh. This is a detailed judgment. Any proper lawyer be our as a catch yourself assassin will appeal. You will never do it.
Right. Ejumana ma mene ye na esenke bona baso pe ma na
appeal no mo why adwuma na you adwuma ni judges na better appeal no so no it will be easy for them. Why adwuma ni
wow.
Right.
Hey, but like seriously, the woman is serious. This one other. Hey, I'm shocked though. She or say if it must be stated that the court is duty bound to consider and evaluate any document if it's indeed is inadmissible and to reject same if the court
finds it as such. Also one year to Mudia, I then oji so mu, I don't know oji so say or reject ye. Also obet me I don't know on fan juma, but obet me aji. Oji hwe court no bibia ma ne tumi say oji a na say ohwe bibia wie na for ohu o making a decision during the time watching the judgment na obetire o mu say oba reject oba accept it. The law or court law no e wo soro ha aye and a couple versus aye Idrisu 2010 Supreme Court ruling and what say
like it's more like the woman knew the questions that will come out of all these things and she actually answered most of them.
So onim say I don't know ekura o mom de ba onim say fake what can 90 no na me can say mjiro
say they said if you Rahel is saying the certificate is fake, they will be happy, pa. And that word they will never hear from my mouth. Is a word
I am saying it.
I have never been saying it from day one, and I will never say it. So I've been
saying it. I'm not rate no. Rate now. Omode call court no. Rate now omode call on the 3rd of October no. That time I mean saw rate ni mu na me catch you say e fake. Maka since that time.
Africa asade ni efike ene
omoto ho no ma me ho na eduma be kire me DM provide your address if you think that you are a bold man na me ka kire say munye serious munye serious mu pa me address mu ma me no owo me address mu nko no ho no mo de be ma mo because city na owo so no Bonham ho no no be ono say okoye aware no me di ho no makone aba me details nyina e wo ho mon kan che mo ma me so onko honom okọ Bonham honom a okọ Sanders am to a on kan che mo say obite social media say oba honom o ni details nyina ba ho o me de be ma no
tira ye show no amanfo so transmit live on is show nya some petwa BBC ni atansia fu nyina ehwe.
Yes, I think a lot of people are streaming the live. That's okay. Let me say, me now be almost person me cast and be now almost implicating me, but me right from day one when this issue started, I know how to choose my words.
Right, oh yeah, Rabba. Why?
Inti right, kind paragraph 90 the mama na me nchire mu nchire.
All right, 90.
Kinki afen no do me favorite 1991. Afen no do me favorite no.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a judgment. Today I have 3,642 people watching on FYP.
Multi FYP. Mumbra na
mumbra. Kind of 3 times you.
Yeah.
Why are they?
Yeah, 94. Why are they? 94 na my favorite pa.
No, do me junction 1991.
Me but the Oka say I need to be arrested. No, don't worry. Okay, I did go on business from the be arrested me. No, they will know.
Ready. We won't find a drone. Don't worry. And you won't find a drone.
All right. 90, right?
Yeah. Paragraph 90.
Okay. So upon a look at Exhibit B and B1, being the purported marriage certificate and its translated copy, and also the purported original that was brought before the court by counsel, the plaintiff, counsel for the plaintiff, for the court to compare. After the plaintiff had closed her case, the court agrees with counsel for the defendants that the purported marriage certificate as submitted have no probative value.
Indeed.
Hold on.
Underline word.
Let me find the meaning of not having a probative value.
Now what's happening with the purported?
Purported.
And the line word is what purported. And indeed, purported one now, copy now on the buyer, no. Right. And I was say, almost answer the another purported one buyer, almost say a original. Sa eno na oba omode ba say eye original omode ba amra na omo ankasa omo close omo case ono plaintiff no wa close the case awie ndi uni madekro ade omo say eye original uni madekro eno ye family book no
omo say original no
nti eno na omo say eye original nti the purported one na eye copy no eno omo say another purported one ba ya omo say eye original sa purported one omo de ba no omo say eye original no omo close omo case awie na judge bia opese o kire mo say na ni trim ya Asɛm papa ade na mo ye ni nyina no onim ne mo ye nso ma close mo case awie kra o so be hwe e na o de hwe ye sa nipa we ye mfa no ni judgment enko appeal bia onim yansa bia o nyasa.
Okay, so it says that saying something lack probative value means the evidence does not help prove or disprove a fact in a legal case. It has no useful weight or connection to the point you need to show in court.
You see?
In other words, useless.
Useless. It has no use.
Useless.
Off topic, the fact does not relate. Or say why evidence lack value. It be off topic. The fact does not relate to the case. Unclear. The link between the proof and the event is too weak. Old or weak. The information is too vague and updated to help.
Useless. Right.
Useless. The opposite all kind of no.
Right. Go to 92.
All right.
92.
Let's go to 92. All right. 92 says that I must state that there is a distinction between the legal burden of proof and evidence burden of proof. When it comes to the legal burden of proof, anyone who makes an assertion bore that burden to prove those assertions. But when it comes to the evidence burden of proof, it's a tactical onus. Here,
I say here until so prepare rate now do be kokota send your why see or say the abusuapan ekokoti they will have to prove in some abusuapan yaka wo say sa Asɛm na abusuapan yaka no e de agu hu fi no wo be prove a kire court no kwan ya afa so a agu hu fi you prove it to the court ya Asɛm a abusuapan yaka every previous judgment ni mu you have to prove say Asɛm no na egu uhwanimase you prove it and who prepare rate na the court na we need be mo so those celebrating omani age a omode ton fufuo no de omon fan ton because omon crofo no de omunya bibi say dia na omakoma abasoro omutimi tua mo obi kura tua wi a na osan akɔhwɛ na accounts mu say ada na accounts are empty omus na we koto fufuo no wanhu omutua wi ansa na omadwen aba omo so the reason after they've paid money. Such people, they are depressed, they are dangerous.
I must state that there is a distinction between the legal burden of proof and evidence burden of proof. when it comes to legal burden of proof, anyone who makes an assertion bore the burden to prove those assertions. But when it comes to the evidential burden of proof, it is tactical onus. Here, a party is to produce evidence in support of an assertion to contradict or weaken the evidence that he has been led by the opponent. Oh, okay.
Wait, video ni ade a omukasa abusuapan yaka nyina. They will bring the full one. Na ya hwe omukan bo full one wi a ombetie ne papa shi kan ye. Ansa na ne abusuapan because ne papa shi kan ye. And na ma abusuapan so kan de kan ye. So they will compare it and they will know. Move to 93 and then 94.
All right, 93 says that, let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted. Hey, my agent Doreen, let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted to certify the German marriage certificate, and by that she could have tendered in evidence such attempt being a letter written to the Ghana embassy hold on. I can hold on. I'm missing because I'm
only attempt keke. Nkomunya attempt keke. Sisi ya odi abusuapan kokoti o tie ne o kire wo mu na san omode certified authenticated version of a marriage certificate bi ebeka ho so kan no enu ti na ma o kan we no enu ti o kan we no o se nka previous court no nka o make attempt keke o ma make afa na o beka kire say afa na o beka kire say sa time no a o call ye no court womantimia authenticate ama wo mo no afa na aba beduru when the cancer say mo ya lawyer kusi.
But hold on. Or say, let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted. It means that during the trial, they didn't attempt to
They didn't make any attempt.
Now when see the kind of paragraph 88, or say the plaintiff lawyer was advised during the interlocutory injunction now raise concerns.
Judge na advice no so onko no onko ye.
But 1 month
after 1 month one moment me anya.
Let me read again. So let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted to certify the German marriage certificate, and by that she could have tendered in evidence such attempt being a letter written to the Ghana embassy requesting for the certification. Now the way na Papa she kwaje
ye Papa she kwaje ye no. No kwaje free embassy hodom no. Sa confirmation no me say enne my sister Honey Blossom why a very good job on my brother Ankwanoma. Me wo adwuma mu na obi de a screenshot or more record free in life no na omo ye life no. They've been able to get a copy of a similar letter like that from the Ghana from the German embassy in Accra. A similar letter like that. Obi dia okoya omo de man no. They compared it with Papa Shi ekura no. Rahel, unse medical can dada. Sa letter no me kan ya kan ho asem kra wo Honey Blossom ne platform no so. Ama maka se eye fake letter. Sa letter na my sister Honey ne platform no wa confirm with what a similar letter from somebody. O de toto ho. Sa to whom it may concern no medical can say let a be no one makwaje embassy why between to whom it may concern. Original one na ekura o mo na mo de compare we no. It was not addressed to whom it may concern. That person's name was there. They addressed the person's name. The reference number was missing.
I see.
Papa Shi there no, the reference number was missing. And even under it, there was a footnote. Papa Shi's one was missing. Medican Canada say a fake. So you see now confirmation. You see it? Until Papa Shi kwaji ye no.
Is it that you people no you block him and mo pay now what is it? Me I
block your move.
No. At this point,
you suffocate you.
The person will
rate we no
renovation straight away.
or the abusapanya kokoti was the wo muso or the original marriage certificate. Me catch you say oboa kan 94. Ube who say me so oboa.
But we know okay, I have say no can we yo. One is don't block anybody, no. Because Adebia Yekebiano, they are not willing to take what we are talking about. Yes, so
but we are injecting pains in their heart into my pain. No.
Me no, me
we are not saying it out of our head. It's a court document, and this is the same court document. And so that is what we are deliberating on. For what we are doing is just going through the judgments and then deliberating on things that are inner. Is supposedly links to what Ebusapeni said. Why are you writing all these things?
I'll have to inject sense into your brain. And Monarch, me say, and let me honor Akwabi or say a friend Kosi Buachi also. Waba me DM or the me picture to one say or my address no waba me DM. Now me say this person or person who swing yansa. And I make nyansa de kire no sa kosi hwan no such a person no me sure say ne brain na da ne trimu no otimi process it. He can't even process it.
Don't mind him kiki and try Asɛm so. All right, on say after the first hono way hono or say beside the lack of certification. So this part is very important.
Okay, read it.
And to the first one, and let me state that the plaintiff should have attempted to certify the marriage certificate, and by that she could have tendered in evidence such attempt being a letter written to the Ghana Embassy requesting for the certification. And then 94 says,
Unim says attempt no court no ekaye no judgment no eba wie na pe no sa attempted letter no eba out judgment no ba wie no na lawyer kusi esan ko twere attempted letter no na back date no. I have all those letters. I have them. Minister Alex, we have all of those letters.
All right.
This is how criminal these guys are.
Or by the things that time not trying
or make it attempt.
Okay, so let's so with the court's judgment.
Yeah, from the court.
You want to make said they made an attempt. To do that. And in 1994, they said beside the lack of certification or authentication, counsel was to bring the original marriage certificate for the court to
94.
I'll say besides the lack of certification or authentication, counsel was to bring the original certificate for the court to cite and compare, since the court was informed that there was an original certificate.
Thank you.
However, what was brought to the court was an extract from a family book or a diary, which counsel for the plaintiff admitted in open court.
There is God.
The document, therefore, could not be the original, and its copies and its copy being Exhibit B. Therefore, the extract cannot be proof of a civil marriage between the plaintiff and the late Daddy Lumba.
Help us.
Who say? Right, the catcher will say. But you can say. Or need that Lumba, I was civil marriage. You know, make a choice and you know, and no,
it is a fake.
Cannot be proof. This cannot be proof of a civil marriage between Akosua Serwah and Daddy Lumba.
Therefore, so the extract cannot be proof of the civil marriage between the plaintiff and the late Daddy Lumba. The extract is significantly different from the document purportedly tendered in evidence as the marriage certificate.
Good.
Yes, fake no, I don't check. Fake no.
Ti fake na no an waka no.
So,
Me be wura fake in so pa mo bia hu. Sa paragraph 105 no. That is what the fake is. You me be ko ho. Ufri 104, obeko 105.
okay, to make a 95 na minko menu.
Can 98. Would the jump
Alright.
98 no kra. Would the jump 98 na kan 103. E ho na paper na okoje no fake one na okoje no. E na obisa ho asem no. 103.
103. Also, Exhibit C, emanating from a foreign embassy has to undergo authentication and certification, or the person who executed it shall have been called to testify.
You see?
I must state that it would be a
Herculean tax.
Herculean tax to bring any foreign consular officer to the jurisdiction.
That's be say onya abre any adaje de hwe be video ma me patche so wahwe wi a subscribe mami on all YouTube, on all social media platforms, especially YouTube ya we hwe subscribe mami. Who subscribing so a press notification button so say the next video na beba na wo benye bi and wahwe 7 Ghana TV no krenkwa me a me de nkomo di brewe be din e Hayford 7 Ghana TV be that's be bre say wo hwe bye bye.